Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and I did just pick up and receive in the mail a few beautiful tri-logos that I've picked up over the last couple of weeks from the AFA CIB auctions on eBay. Slapped it on my PayPal credit. First purchases I've had in over 2 months, but a couple of three very nice tri-logo gems that I had to show you guys. And the first one I'm going to show you relates to droids. So I did go ahead and pull off out of my collection room the other tri-logo mint on card droids in my collection for those of you that have not seen them yet. So the first one is one I picked up earlier this year from Hakes. This is a R2-D2 sensor scope miscard on an R2-D2 last 17 pop-up lightsaber card back. So very cool item here. It's got kind of the longer, thinner bubble, and R2 is kind of wedged up in there. This one got an 80 plus grade. It says PBP blister, but I've talked to a number of different tri-logo experts, and they just, they said that it's most likely a Meccano blister, because when the Meccano factory was closing down, the Palitoy overlords told them to get everything they have out the door and match them up as best you can. And so that's where a lot of the miscards come from, is from the Meccano factory. They were just closing up shop, and this is probably what this is. This was probably released and manufactured and sealed up back in about 1985, around the last 17 figures. So this is a beautiful AFA 80 plus unpunched example with the R2-D2 sensor scope inside. And along with that, I do have the actual R2-D2 sensor scope. This is one I picked up from a friend of mine named David. This is a CAS graded example. This is a beautiful unpunched R2-D2 sensor scope on the correct card back this time. So absolute stunner, really, really mint condition, unpunched, no price sticker. And this one is graded by CAS, straight 85s, 85 overall. So just a really stunning example there. So those are the two R2s. And then this one is the R5D4. This is one that's really jumped in price. There's been a few of these that have sold recently on eBay that have really shocked me in terms of the final sales prices. And I bought this from Chris W. over at Rogue 5 Toys several years ago. I don't remember exactly when, but this is an AFA 80 example of the R5D4, 80, 75, 85 for the overall 80 grade. And I'm not sure why that got a 75 for the blister. It had one little ding in the top left, but that seems like there it is. You can see a big ding there at the bottom. So that's why I got the 75 for the blister on that one. This is a punched example. And the other two are here on your right-hand side. This is a beautiful 21B medical droid, unpunched, no price sticker, and straight 85s for the sub-scores. I picked this up from a gentleman named Darren on Facebook. He had a really big tri-logo collection that I think he decided to sell off. This was probably 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember exactly when. This is the semi-metallic version, I believe, of 21B medical droid, and beautiful example. So straight 85s. And then this is another one I picked up a few months ago from the CIB auctions on eBay. Obviously, they've had a ton of tri-logos in high grade lately. And when I saw this one go up, I was like, man, I missed the last one, so let's go for it. And I was very lucky to finally get a tri-logo Death Star droid to go along with my other 8 or 9, I think 9 now, mint on card Death Star droids. So this is 80, 85, 85 for an overall 85 for the Death Star droid, a punched example. Very tough to find the tri-logo Death Star droid, although this year there's been at least 4 or 5 now that I've seen pop up for sale after not seeing any for sale for a long time. But the first one I wanted to show you that I just got in today's mail is the FX7. So this is one that was on the last CIB auction pile, and I was very fortunate to get this for a great price. I don't remember the exact number. I think it was $360, which I would be happy to pay that. I thought that was a very fair deal for a beautiful unpunched FX7 medical droid. Get a nice close-up here. Great card back image there. And just in pretty pristine condition. 85, 85, 90 are the sub-scores on this one. So that's a very, very nice example. I did look up on the population report the number of these in an 85 grade, and there were a lot. There were, I think, 13 AFA 85 for the FX7 medical droid. I can't remember if there's any graded higher or not, but that one is one of the least rare ones. But one of the ones I'm getting ready to show you in a second is a 1 of 1. It's the highest graded example tri-logo on the population report, and there's no others graded higher than it, which I was shocked by, and I did not know that when I bought it, but I looked it up after it arrived, and it's a 1 of 1, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, this FX7 is kind of a replacement. I had a UKG 75 grade of a tri-logo FX7, and it always bugged me because in the lower right-hand corner on the back in that white box, someone had handwritten like 7 pounds or something like that in ballpoint ink. And it always bugged me. So I decided to sell it, and I said, I'll just replace it and get a better example at some point. And that was a long time ago. That was at least 3 or 4 years ago when I sold that. And it took me a while to get a replacement, but I finally did pull, win the auction for this FX7. It's an absolute stunner. Very happy to have it. Let me pause it right here, and then I'll show you the last two that I recently picked up as part of my Bespin crew. So the last two I picked up recently go along with these two that have not been in my collection long. I believe I picked up both of these this year. Don't quote me on that, but we'll know at the end of I keep a spreadsheet for everything I get over the course of the year so I can put together a year in review video. And this year has been much more ridiculous than most years. I usually only get maybe 10 to 12 mint on cards in a given year. This year has been a lot more than that. And I think both of these I picked up earlier this year. The first one is the Palitoy Lando Bespin. And this one is a beauty that I picked up on Facebook it was an AFA 80 plus, as you can see right there, 85, 80, 85. So nice example of Lando. That one is kind of a standard Palitoy. You can tell by the hang tab on that one. Versus this one, you can kind of see that this one has a longer, thinner hang tab. And this is Lobot, and it's graded AFA 80. I believe I got this from CIB also. And you can also see the difference on the backs. So a lot thinner hang tab than the shorter, fatter, typical Palitoy. And the yellow on the back is a much brighter yellow. So this is a German Parker example for Lobot, and AFA sometimes labels it, sometimes doesn't, but that one is absolutely a German Parker. That just means it was produced in a factory in Germany versus the standard Palitoys, which obviously they were produced not only in the UK, but in France with the French Mecanos, and you had Spanish PBPs, all kinds of different tri-logos that are out there, but this one is a German Parker, to my knowledge, and that one is graded AFA 80. And then here are the other two Bespin crew members that I just picked up. The first one arrived today, and that is Han Solo in his Bespin outfit. This is my first carded Han Solo Bespin. Very, very cool. I've got the tri-logo AFA 85 for Han Solo Hoth battle gear, and now I've got an AFA 85 for the Han Solo Bespin. Great card image, obviously. This is also just a real stunner. So very happy with that one. AFA 85, straight 85s for the subscores. And this is very similar in terms of population report to the FX7. I believe there is one graded higher than this and an AFA 90. And then there's like 13 AFA 85s for the Han Solo Bespin. So it's not terribly hard to find, but you're still talking 1 of 13 on AFA's population report. But that one's really cool. But what about Han's love interest? And this is my first carded anywhere Leia Bespin. And this is one I picked up a couple of weeks ago in the CIB auctions. And this is the single highest graded example on AFA's population report for the tri-logo Leia Bespin gown. And it's an AFA 85 punched example. And I paid a lot of money for this one, obviously, given who she is, but I was still actually pleasantly surprised to get it for the price I did. It was a lot of money, obviously, but given that it's a 1 of 1 on the population report with no other examples graded higher, very happy with it. And this one is a stunner. AFA 85 for the card score. The blister got a 90 and the figure got an 85. And there she is with her little weapon down there at the bottom. You can see a little scratch behind her head there. That's just a scuff from probably it wiggling around inside the blister. But absolutely stunning card image. Really, really nice example. And this one obviously is a standard Palitoy tri-logo, not a German Parker, as you can tell by the hang tab and by the kind of the little bit darker finish to the yellow. But man, what an awesome item. So we've got a pretty full Bespin crew here. We've got Lando along with his Major Domo, Lobot, and then we've got Han and Leia. And certainly I would love to get a Luke Bespin at some point. There's been a couple of them that have sold from AFA on eBay, but they've just gone way too high for me, way higher than I'm willing to go. So for now, this crew will have to do, but man, just a really nice trio of tri-logos that are all graded AFA 85 to add to my tri-logo collection. I think I have 45 mint on card tri-logos graded now in the collection, so a pretty substantial collection growing. I think I've picked up like 15 this year, so it's a really weird year, much different than my usual MO of buying 10 to 12. So this year will probably go down as the most in terms of mint on cards that I pick up. I've tried to slow down over the fall here, and I finally caved and bit the bullet and bid on a few items that I really wanted to add. So I hope you enjoyed this look at these recent additions to my tri-logo collection. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.